Hey everybody, it's the Zen Witch. Happy New Year. Happy calendar New Year. Um, it's funny because as a witch, it seems like we have a lot of New Years. Kind of that every turning of the wheel gives us a new opportunity, and we have, New Year at Samhain, and then there are many traditions that um, have a lunar calendar, and New Year happens at different times, like Chinese New Year and things like that. So it seems like we're always saying Happy New Year, and the truth of it is, it's just a day later than the day before it, so we can be Happy New Yearing every single day. As cheesy as that sounds, it's true. You can reset the clock every day. You can set a new intention every day. You can, live the life that you say you want to live every day in the now because that's the only time you have to live it. Right? Right. So a little bit of language change that you're going to hear from me. And it was something I kind of always puzzled about. What I'm going to do right now is, and I'm not going to turn on my desktop cam because I've got my microphone set up and everything, but I am going to offer you a smoke cleansing. I'm offering you asperging is the word that I learned when I was learning my first ritual. Um, they called it asperge, and it means to cleanse. It's from I think expurgate. It's from an old Latin word. At any rate, I offer you this smoke cleansing. I'm using white sage. Feel it going through your life. Smell it. Let it cleanse away anything that you don't need in your life right now, that anything that is not here by your choice for your highest good. Okay? Happy New Year. So the change in language is because I saw an article talking about how smudging is a First Nations tradition. It is a ceremony. It is a First Nations spiritual ceremony. And, when I first met the first witches that really taught me ritual, I'm putting this out, so I'm distracted. At any rate, they talked about smudging, and we used white sage. And I mean, as soon as I smelled the white sage, I could feel it. It just has such a clean smell to it. You can tell it's wiping out bad things. So I learned to call it smudging. And then I remember thinking, because it's like, okay, I know this is from Native American culture, and where do we fit with this? I always had kind of a question about that word. Well, I read an article, and it was like, yes, if you are not, in fact, Native American from First Nations, you cannot, in fact, smudge, because that is a Native American ceremony. So I think it's really important to know what's going on in our language. Language is how we store things in our brains, and what's in there drives the show. So, at any rate, I'm reclaiming that word asperging that I learned in my first ritual days, and white sage is one that the smell is deeply embedded in my brain in those early learning days. So I love that smell. I also use cedar. You can use juniper. You can use rosemary. You can use any number of herbs, or even just a particular incense that's the smell of which puts you in a state. Okay, we're talking about achieving a particular state here, and the state of relaxation and kind of open mindedness, that wonderful trancy magical state that we would love to move through life in. So if you have an incense that rings that bell for you, then you can asperge using that incense. Of course, you know what I say. It's what's most important is that it resonate with you. You're the one doing the magic. You're the one that's altering this. I mean, this is really the only thing you can alter. You work on this and the waves go out from there. So I offer you that asperging and cleaning on the day after New Year's Day. And I'm here to say, as you can probably tell, my computer is alive again. My motherboard died on Christmas Eve. And thanks to a wonderful friend of my wonderful son, less than a week after he came to diagnose things, I have a new motherboard and I'm up and rocking again. But the clock is ticking. I have a 9-year-old computer. So I'm like tick tock, tick tock, and we'll see. So I have a lot of things in the works, is what I want to tell you. Just an idea of what's coming in this new year and what my intentions are. As far as you guys go, my subscribers, I'm so happy. At this moment, it's like 312. But you know what? That's 312 fucking people that put their hands up and said, I like what you do. So you're my people. And I had a realization, when you start thinking about doing things on a mass communication scale, the devil is starting to think, how can I please everybody? And I learned this when I was singing, when I was performing. You can't please everybody. You have to put out your best you, and you will please your people. So I'm here to say thank you for being my people, and I'm looking forward to a whole bunch more people in the new year. And what I promise to give you, I will still continue with the Tarot and Oracle unboxing videos every Monday and Friday. I am going to start posting some guided meditations. I am planning a podcast. So I've got a lot of things in the works, and January, I'm looking at Content Blitz. I really want to just show you guys what I got, okay? And I hope that you really enjoy it. And I wanted to give this to you as well. And it's funny because I'm sitting down recording now. I was planning to record later in the day when I'm, when I've done this and this and my little chores and stuff. And then what I find is that as I am doing chores and I get into flow state, the downloads, the streaming starts. And it's like, okay, I need to sit down right now and catch this stream, because if I try to go back and revisit it later, at the best we can have sort of an awkward, recollection of what was going through my head. Or it's just, I lose things. So, and, this happens to me every single time I'm in the shower. I mean, every single time. I have a Pisces moon. It sits in the 4th house, which is Cancer's house, so a water house. It trines Neptune, which is in Scorpio, a water sign that sits in its own house, the 12th house, which is a water house. So I've got all this water in my chart, and it's where my music and my psychic abilities are centered. So I get in water, and I have water flowing down over me, and it's like, plug in and the download starts. And I've learned how to catch it if I'm conscious of it. I mean, sometimes I just let it flow. Sometimes it's just healing information that's coming through. Sometimes it's just connections my brain is making. But if it's something that is usable, and, then I've learned to sort of be present and find a way to anchor it. And I actually have gotten out of the shower soaking wet a few times to get something written down so I don't lose it. So anyway, here I am sitting recording earlier than I thought I would be. But I was thinking about things like, thinking about magic. The flow here is thinking about what I want to talk to you about. And of course, I want to talk to you about magic and how it works, and the role of meditation, your mindset, having the skill of dropping your brain into that relaxed, trancy state where the ego is out of the way, the judge, the doubter is out of the way, and information can come through. We want to be in that state. That is the state of magic. That is the state of learning. This is brain science. That the state that we're in when we're absorbing knowledge and it's really going in, and we're plugging everything in, is trance state. It's when you're focused and aware. Okay, when you're not focused and aware, information can be coming. Are you ever reading a book or an article and you realize, I have read this same paragraph 5 times and I don't know a fucking thing it said? Okay, that's a distracted state. And when you're in a distracted state, things can't get into your brain. So we need to be undistracted in order to learn, in order to take on information. And that is trance state. It's relaxed. It's aware. It's kind of a It's sort of a hypnotic state. Okay, it's theta, the theta waves of brain frequencies. Um, so it's a misconception about hypnosis that that you're unaware, that if you're under hypnosis, you're blacked out. Basically, your consciousness is gone. Hypnosis is actually a hyper aware state. It is this state I'm describing to you, where your body is deeply relaxed, your breathing is deep and open and wonderful, and your unconscious mind is open. Okay, and so the shit's out of the way. The ego is the thing that judges and doubts and says, I like this thought, I don't like that thought. And that's what keeps you busy. That's what keeps you from absorbing information. So if you find yourself reading that paragraph for the fifth time, stop and think, what's going through my mind? It's the ego quacking. Here's what they said, and I didn't like that, or worry, or whatever we're doing. But that's ego quacking. I think that's, TM. Ego quacking, TM. So we want to get the quacking to stop, and the first thing we need is to get our breath right. And all of the training that I've had, and all of the training that I've had, pretty much everybody that's trained me in anything from theater to music to movement to dance to anything, acting, meditating, everything starts with the breath. Everything, if we want to be an effective machine, everything starts with the breath. So air is the one element we can do without for the least amount of time. It's not going to be very long if you stop breathing before things go completely south. So the breath, the first thing is being able to just draw a deep breath. So I'm just going to give you a very short thing here. And some of these little skills are in working up to doing some guided meditations. But these are some things that you can practice so that they become second nature, so that we unlearn the bad habit of shallow breathing and tense breathing. This is, we are trained into tension. You hear me say it over and over again. We are trained into tension from the moment we're born. And the more intrusive our lifestyle is, the more externals are intruding on our lives. If there's TVs on all the time, people on all the time, noisy traffic, all of that. We just can't, we get trained into tension, and we forget how to relax. So meditation is about retraining your brain, retraining your body. Here's what relaxation feels like. Here is your natural state. It's the state of healing. It's the state of learning. It's the state of transformation, change. And guess what? Magic. So first thing I want you to do is, wherever you're at, if you're standing, plant your feet shoulder width, tuck your pelvis in a little bit so your tailbone's pointing at the ground, soften your knees. If you're sitting down, roll your shoulders back. Sit, get that natural curve at the base of your spine. Uncross your legs, plant your feet on the ground. Hands on your knees. If you're lying down, that's fine. Just make sure your spine is straight and your neck isn't pushed forward. And then first thing is just let your breath out all the way, and gently squeeze. I don't want you to give yourself spasms, but gently squeeze until you feel all of the air is gone. Then just relax your belly. So you've got those instructions. Now you can try it, because it takes too much time to explain. And I know you guys always push your breath out, and then you're going, I want to breathe. So push your breath gently all the way out, and then just soften your belly, relax your belly, and watch what happens. Your diaphragm muscle relaxes, and it pulls air into your body. And that's where you want your breath to be centered, is right around your belly, right around your midsection. Okay, that's where your diaphragm is. So try it again, and as I'm talking, just keep trying it, but not strenuous. I don't want you to be hyperventilating. I don't want you to be squeezing so hard that your chest muscles go into spasm. Okay, and I don't want you to be sucking in so much air that you feel like you're going to pop. What we're going for is expanding your capacity. We're going for expanding your capacity to breathe, right? And then we're going to release your conscious effort from it and let your body breathe that way. So as you continue now to just kind of squeeze, gently, gently squeeze, and from the belly, feel that tighten up, squeeze out all the air, and then relax, feel the air start to go in, and then just pull in and expand on that and pull your breath in. And you want to feel your lungs filling up from the bottom all the way up to your lungs come up to here in your chest. They take up a lot of space. So you can really feel them fill. And I'm going to say breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Okay, the breathing in through your nose warms the air and filters things out. The breathing out through your nose makes the air leave in a measured way. Okay, and I think that's as far as we're going to go today. I think that's it. I just want you to practice breathing. And you're going to be chasing it for a while. If you've never done this before, you're going to be chasing it for a while. My one drama class I was in, and when you really get into drama class, the bulk of it is physical exercise, stretching, and mouth exercises, and diction exercises, and physicality exercises, and relaxation. It's priming this tool. This is your instrument, and you need it to be primed to be able to use it to move emotional energy through. Acting is a hell of a lot like magic. Did you notice that? So yeah, just practice throughout your day. When I was in that class, we had to keep a daily journal, and we had exercises to do every day. And I remember journaling day after day of, I'm really tense here. Oh, I got this part relaxed, but now I feel like it's in my low back. And, chasing tension all over my body. And I distinctly remember the moment I was standing. Interesting. I was standing at the kitchen sink washing dishes. My hands were in water. Hello. So I had my hands in, look, I'm pulling up my sleeves. Like, okay. I had my hands in water. I'm washing dishes. And all of a sudden, I felt my breath drop and I felt my body relax. And it was like, holy shit, I'm there. And this is the way it is with practicing any kind of physical skill. If you play an instrument, play a sport, anything that does repetitive movement, muscle memory and all that, it doesn't, your learning curve doesn't go like this. It goes like this. You practice, not getting anywhere, and then all of a sudden your skills bump up. And so I have found, especially like with guitar and stuff, that it sometimes when I'm practicing consistently, it's that week and a half that I just can't get to it. And then I go back and all of a sudden it's there. So that's why the focus is practice, not perfect. The focus is practicing. It's the journey, not the destination. You can only ever be on the journey. And you're always in the destination. It's like be here now. That's the uncertainty principle? You can either know where something is or how fast it's going. You can't know both things at the same time. So anyway. So anyway, I wanted to give you that and just encourage you to practice your breathing and see where that starts to get you. Have a nice deep breath, free breathing in the new year, and I will be posting a lot more to come. This has been the Zen Witch. Like and subscribe and share my stuff. Come back the next time, and I will see you then. Blessed be.